Hello, sweet friend. My name is Micah, and in this video, I would like to share with you the April Cat Collage Club Collage collection. I'm the illustrator behind Cat Collage Club, and every month I like to share with you what's included in this month's printable collection, and yeah, just chat with you about all these cute kitties. So, first off, we have a sheet dedicated to April showers, and that is very fitting because right now it is raining outside as I speak, and it has been raining for a couple days now, so I'll probably use one of these real soon. But yeah, I think they look so cute in their sort of pastel-y, springy outfit with their colorful umbrellas, so they bring a little bit of joy to the more dreary days maybe. Although I feel like that in April, the rain can also be really beautiful and can bring out the sort of soft, sagey green in the fresh grass. By the way, this dog does not seem to be enjoying the walk in the rain. And then I also created some clouds with rain and the sort of like partially cloudy with the sun. And these sort of background pieces so you can create a little scene with the cats. And then how can I not talk about the fact that we have some dogs in here? I often get asked to also include other animals, especially dogs, and so obviously I'm happy to do so every now and again. And so yeah, these cuties joined us for this month, and this is actually really inspired by a sticker sheet that I was able to, or allowed to, invited to design for STICKII Club last fall. I know these are really small. They're a little hard to show on camera. But yeah, this sticker sheet is called It's Raining Cats and Dogs, and that's why I also decided to include the dog again, because yeah, it just reminded me of this. And as you can see, this was more fall themed with the branches and the leaves. This is still available on the STICKII Club website. I'll have that linked in case you want to check that out. That was really, yeah, really special to be able to design that for them. But yeah, now we have a spring version or just an anytime version. I think, yeah, they'll be useful beyond April, I hope, and that this is just a good go-to have on hand kind of sheet. I always like when that happens. So yeah, there are those. And then in my last collection walkthrough, so the one for March, at the end I asked you if you were interested in some Sakura themed elements, and the resounding answer was yes. And so I came up with these. So at the top here we just have the cats amongst the flowers. I really wanted to highlight the unique cherry blossom flowers. They look so pretty and dainty. So yeah, yeah, really wanted to highlight those. I also included some more like clusters or branches, so you can, you know, sprinkle this throughout a spread and really create like an entire, yeah, spread. And I know that some of these are maybe a little small, but I figured they're there if you want them. I figured that was the better option than to not include them. But then I also wanted to highlight just how beautiful the trees overall are with their just pink color that just, yeah, it's just so lovely. So I created this illustration with the cat with her bike, and yeah, she's just admiring this tree and standing underneath it and just, yeah, getting absorbed into the pink flower, not flower, the pink color. Yeah. And then these two are just, yeah, taking a walk with all those spring blooming trees in the background. Really sweet. Yeah, I like that. I already used that in one of my spreads. And then we have the April lettering. So I hope you enjoy those. I've already used some of these elements on my April cover page in my Hobonichi Cousin. I like to pick out a poem that somehow speaks to me, either just because of what's happening in the moment or this year, or something that speaks to the season. That always varies from month to month. But yeah, I decided to include some of those cherry blossoms. But then here I put the bigger illustration with the bike on there, but also included some of the smaller petals or flowers. And then I took one of the clouds from the first sheet to put up here. So yeah, I think that looks very springy there. And so yeah, I really do hope that you enjoy this. And then we have a little bit more spring here. I wanted to create some more cats that are just enjoying everything that blooms now, and just sitting amongst the flowers and just getting outside, getting some fresh air. Yeah, I really like this color palette. I call it sort of like an earthy spring with the blues and the purples, but then also brown. Kind of fun, a little different. And then we have another animal friend join us this month, these bunnies. I think they're so cute. After the fact, I noticed I should have maybe put them in a different order, because there's a little bit of a progression going on here. So this one is painting them, and then this one is just starting to search for them. And this one has found quite a few and has them in their basket and is showing off the beautiful eggs. So yeah, that's kind of fun. And then I did also want to include a bunny that's just holding these flowers in case you're not into the colorful eggs. So there's that. Yeah, I do hope you enjoyed those. Similar to the Sakura flowers, these eggs are quite small. They're still pretty easy to cut out because they're round. But it was one of those things, again, where I had the space and I was like, well, I think it would be nicer to provide them and, give you the option to cut them out. But yeah, you can also just ignore them if that gets too fiddly for you. So there are those. And then, because everything so far has been sort of very spring-centric, I definitely wanted to have some designs that are a little bit more evergreen, I guess is a good word. Often these kinds of designs are inspired by something that I was working on or journaling about in my journal. So that's where sometimes the inspiration comes from. But yeah, this lady here, she is your friend on the days you need the extra caffeine. With her oversized coffee mug. That's quite fun. I mean, of course, that could also be hot chocolate if that gets you through the day. We have a cat enjoying some downtime and watching TV. We have this cutie here taking a good nap on the moon. I would imagine that up there it's nice and quiet. You can sleep really deeply. And then, of course, it's always nice to have some of these kinds of designs around. Just, they just go on any page or on a cover page with, just having her journal there. Yeah, it's just a good go-to decoration, I would say. And here we have a cat dropping off her Happy Mail. This design was actually also in December, a little different. She was very much like in a winter coat, and I had like a mistletoe on the letterbox. But as I was looking at that design, as I was putting some of the Christmas stuff away, I realized this would be really nice to have just as a non-winter version. And so, yeah, I included that here. I think she turned out quite cute. I love her little red bag. I think that's so precious. And her little coat. It's just so cute. Yeah, this was a drawing in my journal that I changed just a little bit. I can show you. I think that design is really fun for the days when you are researching something, looking something up, thinking about something, or studying in some way. So yeah, this is how it started. And I know that this like question and answer, the question mark and the exclamation mark might not be for everyone. So I made that separate from this design, so you can decide whether or not to pair that up with the glasses. And because I'm such a fan of anything sort of remotely in the sort of like tortoiseshell celluloid kind of look, I kind of made the glasses have that effect just a little bit. Yeah, so I hope these are fun. And then if you've been around for a while, you know I like to journal about recipes that I tried out. So of course I like having cooking cats and have a variety of them. So yeah, she's ready to tackle a new recipe from her cooking book. So cute. Yeah, those are those. And then I did want to share with you a page. I marked it where I already used the cat with the TV. I have not really been journaling a lot about things that we've watched, and I had this page still blank, and as I was backlogging, I realized it would be nice to just make a here's things that we've watched recently, almost like a collection page, I guess, or sort of like a summary page. So I thought this was a really effective way to still journal about things that might be ongoing, like watching a TV series, but you haven't really, you know, checked in every time you watch a new episode. So yeah, I think that turned out really cute, and I think that's a really effective way of journaling, and especially if you're backlogging and having maybe some empty pages you would like to fill. So yeah, really cute. And of course, Beautiful Flowers by Erin Ware, of course. Yeah, so I hope you really enjoy these cuties. And then, of course, we have the minis. They're so cute and tiny. Always am so excited to print these out. So there are those. I did want to share some housekeeping things. So if you're new around here, or if you're watching this video on YouTube trying to decide whether or not you want to join, you get access to 4 months of printables. So right now you are getting all the Collage collections from January till April. But this is the last month that January will be available in the printable collection, in the printable library, I mean. So this is going to rotate out come next month. So you can obviously watch the January walkthrough, but just to give you a reminder, what was included there. So if you're interested in these, now is a good time to get them. I am still working on setting up a shop. I have gotten so busy in March, I haven't really had the time to really finish that off. I mean, it's close to finish, but there's just a couple things that I want to make sure work smoothly before I open the shop, and then have it be a somewhat frustrating experience for you. I would not want that. So yeah, I'm still working on that, and hopefully that'll be open soon, where you'll be able to buy certain elements and sheets as one-offs. It's not everything from the collections will be available in the shop, just so you know. So it's still a good idea to join the subscription. And then I want to make a note to or say something for everyone who's using cutting machines. So this might be a little esoteric for folks who are not using cutting machines. And that is, I've been working on, in dialogue with some of my Collage Club members, working on providing files that are easier to import into cutting machine software. And so I'm now offering the elements as individual PNGs. And what is new this month is that I have tweaked the individual elements. So again, this is super esoteric, but when I color my designs on Procreate, I use a watercolor brush because I like the texture so much. And this watercolor brush means that the color areas sometimes have a little bit of transparency to them. They're not a solid 100% opaque color. And previously I left them in when I made the PNGs with the transparent background. And this time around I backed every element with white so that they're 100% opaque in the PNGs. So we have the transparent background, but no transparency inside the design. And I do hope that that will help the cutting machine software to know what's part of the design and read that as one continuous design. So yeah, thanks for everyone who's been, talking to me about this. And yeah, I'm just hoping that I can do whatever I can to make these the most useful to you. Yeah, because that's the whole point. Sharing cute cats with you that you enjoy putting in your journals. Yeah. So there's a lot of, cats just getting ready to go outside, enjoy the fresh air. I had quite a few other requests for some spring designs that I didn't get to, so maybe we can do some of them still in May. May is still spring, right? And so yeah, I'll get to those, and of course some other elements. But as always, my list for the requests that you've put in is ongoing, so feel free to let me know if you're looking for something in particular. I'm always happy to at least try to incorporate that. I must say, so for example, one of the suggestions or requests was for an April Fool's cat, and even though I love the idea, I found that a little tricky to put into a design. I must say that, couldn't quite work that out in my head. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate your support. I so appreciate you, adopting these cats into your journals. Feel very, very grateful. And until next time, happy journaling.